Salutations! Welcome to the conversation. I am your host, the Queen of Shade, and I would like to formally, cordially, gleefully, and joyfully welcome you to One-on-One with the Queen of Shade Season 2. There are going to be a lot of surprises in this season. You're going to see a lot of familiar faces that have been here before, and some new ones, and it's going to be an amazing journey of discovery. Remember, these are not interviews. These are inner views. Let us see what your soul looks like. So pull up a chair and don't forget to comment, like, share, and most of all, subscribe. To follow the show, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Queen of Shade, and you can follow the show there. There's also a podcast version of the show, but that hasn't come all the way out yet. I did a soft launch, but that will be coming out too. Season 1 was absolutely crazy. There are 253 episodes of Season 1. Yes, I was running off of pure adrenaline, pure spirit, pure excitement, and we got that done. So you can expect Season 2 to be just as magnanimous and crazy and explosive. There will be some great conversations that you will be able to take things away from and apply to your natural life. 253 episodes. Let's see what we do for Season 2. I love all of you and thank you for supporting, watching, commenting, liking, sharing, because baby, we're on this journey together. We're not on here alone. I'm not on here alone. My guests are not on here alone. You're right along with us. So once again, welcome to the conversation. Now let's get to the conversation.
You fall. The Queen of Shade.
I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one.
I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. I'm gonna get you, boy. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. I'm gonna get you, boy. Mister, how's your wife and kids? Do they know you like to handle this? I say, mister, why punish your son? 'Cause his daddy likes my kind of fun. And at night you always call my phone. You're always asking if I'm all alone. And when I tell you that I need your love, you come running just to feel me up.
Seth E. Falk.
Salutations, this is the Queen of Shade coming to you with a very special presentation. It's Season 2 of One-on-One with the Queen of Shade, and we are back. And we have some amazing people to speak with, to conversate, to enjoy from all over the world. These are inner views, I-N-N-E-R, and not interviews. I'm searching for your humanity. So if you think that I'm going to ask a bunch of questions and it's going to be one-sided, you might want to click off of this now. But if you like cutting edge and difference, I advise you to stay. I have someone very special for you today. This person is returning to One-on-One with the Queen of Shade. He is an amazing, amazing individual. He always stays booked and busy, modeling, performing, doing all kinds of things, including having a menagerie of lovely, lovely animals. animals, and we love that the most. People that can love animals have a higher propensity for love because an animal can't tell you how much you mean to it. So you kind of have to keep on giving the love and kind of look at their body language. And that is something we should always remember as human beings. Love is body language. Love is action. Having said all of that, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to reintroduce to you Mr. Seth E. Falk.
Wow, that was a gorgeous, gorgeous intro. Hello.
Hi!
Interviews, I love that. I want to cry.
Hi! Don't cry, don't cry. It's been a long time.
It has been.
Yes.
I remember it like so vividly though. I know where it was, what I was doing, what we talked about, everything.
Yeah, me too. I was telling my grandmother today, while I was getting ready yesterday, because I was dyeing the roots of this wig, child. They sent me a wig and it was real blonde. I was like, oh God. So I had to dye the roots here. But I was telling her, I'm like, it's Seth. I'm going to talk to Seth. He has all these animals and he had a zoo and all of these things. And, you know, he goes to nursing home. I knew everything, everything we talked about. He showed me hornbills and I really had such a good time with you the first time.
Likewise.
Yes, and I'm just so glad that you're back for a second time. And those of you that want to get the beginning preliminary stages of our conversation, you have to go watch it on YouTube because we are going to pick up where we left off. So, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm busy, and I feel like that means blessed.
Yes.
Yes.
The same way. The busier you are, the more blessed you are because you bring in all those interactions, brings in money, brings in fame, brings in attention, you help so many different people. And you're one of those people that does. You help a lot of people. While we were setting up, I was speaking about the beautiful, beautiful aquarium behind you. And I remember asking if it was fresh water. And you said yes. And I said, I see a lot of tetras. And that surprised you. You said, oh, I love tetras. I'm just recapping for them. And I said, yeah, I love biology. I love animals. I really enjoyed and was really looking forward to this because of your connection with animals. An animal can't tell you how it feels. It can only show you.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to read that, but to also do things that allow that animal to authentically express its emotions for you.
Yeah.
So I have a very, very soft place in my heart for people that deal with animals a lot.
Yeah. And I train my animals to positive reinforcement, which is probably the most simple training method, but can be quite complex depending on the animal you're working with. But the bottom line is find their favorite snack and find their favorite place they like to be tickled. Good to go.
You know what's so crazy? It's funny that you say that because in this office, which is actually my room, I have no problem saying that. In this office, there is a Russian blue around here somewhere. Cat. His name is Smokey. Smokey has been with me for over a year. And I adopted Smokey. Now, he's my second rescue from the ASPCA. And my first adoption went smoothly. She just needed a couple of tweaks, and she adjusted to home life fairly easily.
Mm-hmm.
Smokey has been in this room with me for a year, and he will not come anywhere near me.
No, right? So he has some social anxiety.
Yes, and he also, if I try to touch him, he literally leaps out of his skin.
Well, cats are solitary animals in the wild, right? All cats, except for lions, live by themselves their whole lives, except for when they're like raising their cubs or their kittens.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a little bit more of the wild mindset in him.
I'm thinking that there is. I think that they tried to pass him off as domestic. I actually think he's feral.
Yeah, and like, I'll mention hedgehogs. Like, people want hedgehogs as pets. and they're all grumpy. They live in the wild by themselves. They're also non-social, and they just don't understand why their head doesn't love them or hang out with them. It's like it just not built to cuddle. They don't cuddle each other in the wild.
Yeah.
So maybe he has a little bit of that, but I'm sure he highly appreciates having the care that he gets from you.
He loves the food. He's gotten bigger.
Yeah, the food. And the food, I think, will be the key for you guys building a awesome relationship where a touch is involved, and some different rooms in the house as well.
You know what's so crazy? They admonished me. They said, listen, be sparing with the food, kind of allow him to have to come to you for the food, and that way you can kind of work with him. And they gave me treats, and then I bought a slew of treats as well, but my other cat ate them. No, but I find that he was willing to come to me. He would cross my legs because I would put the bowl, I would sit on the floor and I would put the bowl between my legs, but far enough down so that if there was an incident, I wouldn't lose anything vital. If you understand what I'm saying. But he would do that. But it pained me so much to have to get him to that point of hunger, to where he was willing to do that.
Yeah, so I feel like there is a fine line when it comes. So I hear exactly what they're suggesting, and that's kind of positive reinforcement.
Yeah.
And like for my cats, they're not nervous. So instead of feeding them breakfast, I just feed them their actual breakfast on show while they're riding bikes, jumping through hoops, wearing outfits.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't feel the same way because I know they're not feeling nervous. They're just going to get chunky if they eat their breakfast and then get 100 snacks.
Yeah.
But there is that fine line where it's like, am I, taking something away in order to force this animal to spend time with me, which really makes me think of falconry.
Yeah.
In a way. Like, I have Ruby right here, my Eurasian eagle owl.
Are you serious?
Well, she's in her taxidermied state.
Oh.
I had her for 12 years, and I worked with many birds of prey, and you weigh them because if they're a little a few grams over what they need to be, they won't fly back.
Okay.
And so then I'm like, do I have a relationship with this, or is this just food?
Wow.
And I think, with some species of animals, it's just you are just the food giver. And then others, it goes deeper. I definitely like working with an animal where the reinforcement doesn't have to always be food.
Yeah.
For instance, a back scratch.
Yeah.
Or a good job. I love parrots because they love drama. So if I scream yes, the bird does it again. So they don't even need food, right? They just want people screaming yeah, and they love drama as a reinforcement, reward. So it's all different types. But it's a fine line that you want. Yeah.
I'm just not prepared to do it. At first I was doing it, and I did it mainly because I went on vacation over the summer. I went to the Poconos, and my family was all going, so I had to hire a sitter. So I got on rover.com. Shout out to them because they were amazing. Rover.com is for dogs, but you can also get cats. And I found this beautiful husband and wife duo that basically sat both of my cats while I was gone for a week. But the thing about it was, to get him in the cage, he had to be starving. He had to be literally starving. And then once he was starving enough, then he went in the cage and I shut the door. But as soon as I shut the door, he freaked out, and there was the growling and the hissing and and I took him to their home, and I requested that they be kept apart because I don't keep both cats in the same place. Like, she has Poppy, she has to run to the house. Smokey is in my confined space because I just don't know how she'll react to him or how he'll react to her. And it's been a year, but I am not going to rush him.
Yeah, because once you hit that mark, such as going in the carrier, and then you close the door, then you get the the trauma response.
Yes.
You may never go back in again. For my cat, who is on Got Talent, one of our things is he rides a bicycle.
That's America's Got Talent, people.
Can's Got Talent. We were doing a fair. and they were doing a tractor pull, and there was like loud sounds, and then it scared him when he was on it. So he had like a fear of doing that behavior of riding his bike because he attributed it to the loud sounds. And so I had to slowly, work back to that level where he was comfortable with that item again. And there's a whole bunch of like percentage rates you want to work to, and like mathematical situations actually you can follow to work through those like difficulties, which I use. But yeah, I use this really cool thing. I forget the name, but it's usually you have your animal look at something and you give it a snack.
Wow.
So, or you wait till your cat looks at something, you give it a snack, and your cat be like, and you give it another snack. And it's called free training, I think.
Yeah, keep looking.
Yeah, so my foxes like went feral at like a year old. Like not biting, but like I was at birthday parties, 100 kids running around. My foxes are just like like pooping and peeing, running everywhere. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I called in a celebrity animal trainer. Yeah. And one night we had them. She showed me what to do, and so I had the fox look at a box. I gave it a snack when I looked at the box. So I kept looking at the box. Then I went over and touched the box by itself, and I gave it a snack. And then it stood in the box, and I gave it a snack. And then it was like standing on the box, and then it started just touching everything in the room, and I just kept rewarding it. And the fox was just so into like touching everything and exploring its environment. It learned that being creative with its space was going to create rewards. And then when I was on show with the kids, it would run out and go up to the kids and paw them and this and that. And I'm like, okay, I made a space that was really fun and full of rewards, and I hit like 90 or 100% with my behaviors that I was asking for without any drama or negativity or like, no, wrong, this or that. So there's ways, but it's challenging, and cats are the worst. Yeah. They have their own agenda.
Wow. While he takes a sip of his tea, let me bring you all into the conversation. Seth, at one point in his life, had a zoo in Canada.
I have a zoo.
Oh, he still has it. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Full zoo.
Good, full zoo. So he specializes in domestics and exotics. And you'll see him with lynxes over his shoulders and snakes and all kinds of rare animals. And this is how we met each other the first time when we talked. And we got to, because we bonded over this. I love animals. Love them because they keep your secrets. They keep your secrets. If you're not feeling your best, or if you're not feeling confident, I find that animals will help to boost your confidence levels or your self-esteem in ways that are just beyond, this world. And I haven't registered mine, but I qualify, living with mental illness, I qualify for having support, emotional support animals. But back to you, Seth, I am afraid, and I'm going to tell you why, because he's so independent and so willing to get out of here that I know at some point in my career very soon, I'll be making my voyages to France. And when I start to set up my satellite office there and, move into my place, I'm taking the other one as well. I'm not going to leave him here. But once I open the door, I know he's gone. I know he can take care of himself. And I don't want that to happen. I don't. So I keep him indoors. But come on, it's France. You're going to open your doors, your windows. He's always looking for, and no, he's not. I was going to say looking for a way of escape, but no, he doesn't. He doesn't actually look for a way of escape.
Yeah, I think he's comfortable.
But see, okay, good. Because that's the thing. Like, I feed him religiously. And I'm one of those people where I don't let it tarry. As soon as he uses the litter box, I clean it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
Actually, this reminds me, so I have 2 Savannah cats that live at home with me here, and I'm having renovations done. I'm having a new bathroom put in downstairs, and my construction worker here was like, "Your cat's running around outside," and I was like, "No, he's not. Like, he's not allowed outside. He's never been out. Like, he goes outside on his leash, but that's it." He's like, "No, it's your cat." And I looked, and my Savannah cat was like running down the street. And I'm like, he's gone. Like, he is gone. But he like an hour later, like came back, ran, and jumped in through the side window because he wanted dinner.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And it was his first time, out in the wild. So there we go.
Now, question, you being in Canada, you're in Ontario or
Yeah,
Toronto?
Ontario, Toronto, Ontario. Yeah.
So get this. Do your neighbors, are they used to seeing exotic animals? Because I mean, this is a savanna cat running down the street. This is not your typical.
I mean, I think it was a first introduction to them of the cat. They don't really know what's happening in this house. So I have a commercial space that my animals live at, and also a farm. So the kangaroos are there, the lemurs, the lynx is outside in the forest in like a naturalized enclosure. And then within the commercial space are the snakes, the rabbits, that sort of thing. And at home, I just have, a prairie dog and some savanna cats, the usual. So far the neighbors don't have an idea, but my next door neighbor was like, I saw you on TV yesterday, like talking about exotic animals. I was like, me? And so I was like, yeah, I work with this like organization, but then I didn't talk about animals. I just love them so much.
Right? Now let's pull these people in. Seth has quite a resume. He works so much, and he works in front of the public eye. Just kind of run us through your entertainment resume. Some of the things that you can say that you've done.
Okay. So, I mean, the biggest thing is doing, a few big shows a day or a week with the animals. That's either on our largest daytime talk shows that we have. I have a residency at like a really cool restaurant here called Jungle Brunch. So it's a really cool space where I walk around with animals and music. And then I model with a really great agency here, which throws me into all kinds of fun, like commercials and photo shoots and jewelry campaigns, which will be coming out very soon. Very excited for that one, biggest one of my life. Just shot my first short film as like an actual actor versus, a SSP. So we had lots of that. But I model in Africa for part of the year. And we're busy there. We do 3 auditions a day. So it's literally like top model where they send you to like 5 locations with not enough time.
Yeah.
And no script. But there I started, so I'm House of LaBeija in New York. And I started the chapter there. So we now have House of LaBeija Cape Town. So that was a really big moment in my life of being able to help be a process of creating that. And I'm just so proud of those lovely individuals that make up the Cape Town chapter and all of the Vogue families that exist in Africa, because it is a whole other ball game just existing and having balls. And then I do events there. So we do something called Art Affair, and we rent out like the biggest nightclub in Cape Town, and we completely fill it with people of all walks of life. But the whole basis is be yourself, be fabulous. And that's really fun. And then here in Toronto, I am the ambassador for Roller Pony, which is our largest roller rink. And coming up, we're doing our first event. Willem from Drag Race, Kaisa, all these people are going to come in to the rink and do our launch party. So yeah, I run events as well with the Drag Race family, which I was on Drag Race, and I believe I will continue to be on Drag Race. So my Drag Race family helps me run fundraisers and that type of thing here as well. So all kinds of just like fun stuff, events, animals, drag queens, dancers, singers. Let's do it. Let's raise money.
I love it because it keeps you so busy. I remember when I asked you for this second sit-down conversation, you were on set for 18 hours.
18 hours, yeah. But like 40-person crew, I was the main character. And that was like after being on set the night before till 1 a.m., 40-person crew, main character. So I was feeling like blessed. Because I was like, I was so tired, and I'm like, I can't do this, but I'm like, this is my dream. This is my dream. And it's happening. And then I had booked a trip to New York like after my 2 shows. So I ended up in New York at midnight after working all day. And I was like, why am I doing this? Yeah. So I'm blessed. It was so exciting to do all that fun stuff, along with looking after 120 animals. So,
You know, I love that you model in Cape Town. When I was younger, 19, 20, 19, 20, 21, 22, those years were my active years as a model, freelance, really trying to get in. I remember that, what was it? Boss Model Management, their director.
Boss, the competitors to, yeah.
They told me, like, he pulled me out of line and he told me, he said, you have an amazing look, but you're not going to work here. You need to go to Paris. He was the reason I went to France. But before I went, I sat at a computer for a year. And I have, because I'm such a gumshoe, I found a lot of backdoor websites that a lot of the insiders use, like bookers and things. They have like mainframes where they talk to each other. It's kind of how people wonder, well, how do you get booked? How do you have an agency here, 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 and here? Well, there are websites that they talk to each other and they coordinate you being able to work in different territories. So I had a lot of friends back then. I got a hold of one of those websites. So I was emailing. I remember I emailed agencies all over the world for an entire year before I accepted the one in Paris. And Cape Town was definitely interested. Cape Town was definitely one. I forget what, there was one called Sub-Zero. There were many other like agencies back then, but we're talking 2003, 2004.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, Boss is still around.
Okay.
Boss is like I feel like the high-end snooty, like in a good way. Like when you walk down the beach, you'll see like 8 Boss models all wearing tube tops to say Boss models with their face fully done, and they won't make eye contact with you.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I love it. I love it. It's top model fantasy. Like, absolutely love it. I love when they put all 10 of us models in the line and they're just like, you go. You stay, you go, and then people are crying. I'm just so old that I'm actually like, it's so fun.
You know what? I love it. I love that you're living your dream. I love it because that's what you work for. And, you know, I'm a firm believer, even with me, when you don't give up on something, there are a lot of sacrifices to be made. But like I said in one of my memes that I created this morning, I am a man that didn't come from a wealthy family. I built myself with the help of a few amazing people. But what I said basically is, you know, what you see from me now, and I get this from you, which is why I'm bringing it up. It's not a vanity campaign or ego. It's just a person that understands the price and pays it. And that's what I feel like for you. Our conversation was nearly 2 years ago. And in 2 years, I've watched you run. It's like being in the Olympics. I've watched you. I have, and I've watched you just go from strength to strength to strength. And what people need to understand is there are setbacks most of the time. But at the same time, you kept going. And I love that about you. And the reason why I'm saying that is because when I spoke to you at the time that I did 2 years ago, your zoo had been taken from you.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the bureaucracy of the area and other people that did not want this young African-American biracial man to play on their level. And I remember you talking about, you didn't, at that time, you were really broken about that.
Yeah. I haven't talked about it to anyone, like anywhere but you, which I remember today. I was like, so the only person I brought up to, because once again, like, you say the wrong thing and someone's knocking on your door.
Yeah.
There's still, yeah. And that, we still exist in that sort of place. But yeah, for me, it's very exciting because I think I'm like 13 or 14 years in. So I think they're kind of realizing that I'm still here. I just have to deal with it. And I'm the most booked program out of all of them. So maybe like, yeah.
And what's your program called again?
Hands-on Exotics. And we specialize in visiting people or clientele that aren't able to go to the zoo. So often a group home, nursing home. We visit Cam H here. yeah, so we'll go all over. We'll do 30 shows a day. We'll be in different locations. Center for the Blind. We do the Helen Keller Center, which is very interesting for me. And just learning about the way they communicate themselves and then how they interact with the animals and how cool it is. But yeah, so all over the place.
You know what I love? I love that. I remember this from our first conversation. I remember how you told me how you got started. You would just take your animals to the park and people would be like, oh, you have all these exotic animals. And you told me, like, then you started going to nursing homes.
Yeah.
And I've watched you, and I love this because what I want people to understand is you didn't just grow in entertainment. Your business grew. 30 shows a day? How do you find the time? How do you find, the stamina and the time?
Yeah. Well, you're definitely learning about having a good team, which is really difficult having staff. Or learning how to, I guess, be a good leader to your staff. And I'm honing in on that, I think, more and more as I go along, being a leader, because I didn't see that for myself. I liked animals. I like turtles. But now, of course, I've learned I have to be a leader. And to get all that done, we have to run a tight ship for the animal side and for the human side and for the customers.
Yeah, because I was going to say that's a lot of animals to transport around. Their nervousness, their natural bodily functions. Like there's so much that goes on. You definitely need a team for that.
Yeah, weather,
yeah,
snowstorms.
Yeah. Now when
cars in the road.
Yes. Now when you do 30 shows a day, do you use the same animals or do you switch them out?
So what we'll do is if there's 30 shows, there'll probably be 8 teams. So that'll be 8 to 10 people on the road, so 8 to 10 cars. So that'll be about 100 animals on the road. And then each person will do 3 shows. I can do up to 5 shows a day. So I could drive, let's say, an hour, do my first show at 9 a.m., drive another hour, do my next show at 11 a.m., drive another hour, do my next show at 1, and keep going until midnight and drop them off. For the animal side, most animals I work with are nocturnal. And I have them in specialized carriers with their blanket and their food. So my animals truly sleep all day. And they have parties at night within their enclosures. But for my parrots, they're front seat drivers. So we crank the music and we're singing and interacting because they're, up and moving and doing things. But yeah, you also to babysit 12 living creatures throughout your day, along with babysitting often human beings that are in your crowd, while facilitating a high energy program, which people have to pay a lot of money for. Some of these programs don't get funding. It was a lot. It's a very exciting moment for these animals to come into these facilities.
I love that you said what you said, even in all of that, because you let us know, you're not just doing these shows by yourself. You have an entire staff of qualified zookeepers and, people that help you. But what I hear, and I wanted to say to you is, are you the first mobile zoo in the world?
No. So I never knew there were mobile zoos going into this.
That's what it sounds
like. When I started going from nursing to nursing home, I'm like, is this something new? And then I started going to fairs and seeing other mobile zoos. And then they started kind of getting aggressive, and some are lovely as well. And I figured out there's a whole market of us across Ontario, which is like a state, big state. And yeah, so it's a whole thing. I would say I am, which I say to people, I'm the only POC, or the first POC mobile zoo, I would say, in North America, period. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you've seen the movie Nope with Keke Palmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how she says they're the first Black animal wranglers in Hollywood. That's what I tell people at the start of my show. So there are other mobile, but I say I'm the only one that specializes in hospital settings, for sure, which takes on a little bit more protocols.
Yeah.
When it comes to the health and safety of the guests that we visit and the animals.
Wow. Seth, you're doing amazing work. You're doing amazing. No, you are. You're doing amazing work because, as I said for myself, these animals become a support to humans. It has been scientifically proven that if you get a dog or a cat, you're going to live longer. Scientifically. It has proven that if you have the companionship of an animal, because, animals, I remember someone said to me, this is crazy. It was a voodoo woman. I was walking down the street in New York City, and this was, I want to say 2007. And this, voodoo Creole voodoo woman stopped me. And I remember she said to me, she said, I'm going to tell you exactly what she said to me. She said, she said, you're very special and destined to succeed and be very wealthy. I never saw her before. No, she just said this on the street. She said, you're destined to be very wealthy. She said, but I want to tell you, spend your money on animals because they will love you no matter what your life is like. She said, do not spend your money on human beings because they will only take your money and use you up. That's what she told me. She said, and I never forgot it because I literally was walking with my friends and I stopped. You want to talk about scaring the hell out of somebody?
Yeah.
And her whole getup of what she was wearing, I'm like, oh my God. But no, literally, she said, spend your money on animals.
Good. I'm following her advice.
Yes, because they will love you no matter what your life is. Yes, no matter what your life is, they will love you. And, even with Smokey, going back to him, he doesn't hide as much now. He'll come out, he'll sit like where I am. He'll come and he'll sit kind of not at my feet, but close enough. And then sometimes I'll catch him sniffing my feet. And then I'll kind of I won't move to startle him, so, but I am also, because I want to talk to you about animal personality for a second, but I'm the type of person where this is his personality. I'm not trying to change him. When I got him, they didn't even know how old he was. They said literally, they didn't know when he was born. They said literally he was between 1 and 2 years old. That's all they could tell me. He was male. He had been fixed, neutered. But literally, even when I was taking him, I'm not going to lie, he was the most beautiful cat in the shelter. All the other ones, they needed homes, and there were people to give them homes. But I was looking for something special like I did with my first cat. And she was special indeed, and so is he. Beautiful cat, beautiful as the Russian blues go, beautiful green eyes, and he talks. He talks to me all the time, but that's about it. So, and that's more than what he did a year ago. So I'm committed that if it takes me 5 years to earn his trust, I'm not starving him again. I'm not doing that. So if all he knows is this human being, make sure I have fresh litter, food and water every day, I'm okay.
Immediately.
Yes. Like I'm just get it. Cause me, I'm a cat lady. I am. I plan and I had American short hairs and then I fell in love with Persians and I ended up with 3 of them. And that was a long time ago. And then I got sick, had to go in the hospital because mental illness is something when you're living with bipolar disorder, PTSD, and acute anxiety. And I was in the early stages of it. I hadn't had the 20 years of therapy yet. But so back then I had them and it was like, I could no longer care for them because I had to learn how to care for myself. So I returned them to the breeder. I gave them back. But Persians will always be my first love. So in addition to these cats, when I get to Paris, Persians, and then I'm also falling in love with the Devon Rexes. I love their, even with Persian and Devon Rex, they have these big open expressions, these big eyes. And they kind of remind me of me, these big eyes and these sweet faces. And I love that. And what I love most about them is they can be angry with you. Still, they're going to do it with a beautiful face. Beautiful face. So, those will always be, my animals and my love. I love cats. I was going to get dogs basically for my grounds, kind of to have on my grounds, but I couldn't tolerate my dog biting someone. I don't want them because me, I'd have to bring someone in to train. My way is love. I remember when I went to Atlanta to record in 2018, my debut album, my producer bought a puppy And I remember she had to run to a wedding in another state, and I stayed because I was in the midst of, doing my album. So I stayed in a house set for her, and I took care of her puppy. And all I know how to do is love. So I let the puppy, like, they didn't do that. They kept him in a crate and this, that, and the other. But I let him out. Like when he first came home, they trusted me because they're like, okay, you seem to know about animals. I was like, yeah, biology in high school and in college. So, and then as a youngster, we're talking 10, 11, 12 years old, I was at the library every day because my aunt raised me and she was in the Navy. So the after school programs happened at the library in that time it was Abington, Pennsylvania. And so I read the entire animal section because I was there every day after school, every day. So I said all that to say that, I love animals. I always will. And I'm more comfortable around them.
Same. Speaking of, I'm going to ask my friend, can you put little nuts in his carrier and then bring him up? I want you to meet one of my friends in a few minutes.
Yes. I love when you do this. I love it.
Put it up in a minute or two, but he's not always the nicest to other people other than me. So good luck. Put him in his carrier. Don't try and carry him.
Yeah. Always the nicest, see? But see, my thing is like, I want lovebirds. I want, there's other things. I just need to be in France. I need to settle first. And my dream for 20 years, after I got to go in 2005 as a model, I knew that I was home. So I've built, it took me 21, to build my career to where it is, to where now I can look at another country and say, oh, let's open a satellite office there. And it's entertainment. I have a lot of connections there. They love the way I sing. They love my drama. They love my show. So, I will always be the type of person that has more animals. I have acute anxiety disorder as well, but I don't have social anxiety. It's just that with human beings, because of who I am as far as the spiritual aspect of it, being empathic, highly empathic, I just take on a lot of energy from other people, and I don't need to do that all the time. So that's why I tend to stay by myself because A, I don't want their energy, and B, I don't want them constantly drawing on mine. And I find that people do that a lot, even over social media. They want to draw on my energy. So I just find, I know 42 years old, I'm going to spend a lot of time with my close-knit family and my animals because I never am drained dealing with animals. It's always an even exchange of energy.
Yeah. I mean, I love waking up and doing my aquariums, which is a lot of work, replanting all the live plants, doing the bottom of the aquarium. Then there's 100 live plants all over, and orchid cabinets, and I just love it. And then doing the cat litters, and it's the fun part of my day.
You know what I love about you? It's not just the animals that run and jump. You also take care of the animals that grow and need the sunlight and, water and soil. I love that you have this reverence for life. Where did that come from?
I think growing up, my mom put me in junior naturalist program, and so I spent basically my whole childhood just learning about mushrooms, edible plants, ecosystems, and so the zoo is kind of the last thought of mine. I thought I was going to be an ecologist or a naturalist or just counting bird species as they fly by. But I really and I also feeling like I'm living in a biome, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or a biodome. I don't know if a biome is different than a biodome. Okay, we'll see how long he stays for and hangs out. Kyla, man, you want that blanket? Why are you carrying a blanket around? Okay, anyways, here's the little nut.
The prairie dog. Look at him. I've seen you take pictures with him. He's gorgeous. How long do they live?
I know I haven't. Oh, I do know. I think it's 8 to 12 in captivity.
Yeah. Tell us about him. Tell us his name and how you got him. And
Oof. You stink. Okay. So he makes a little nest and he just makes a little stinkies in it. So he was born in captivity. When I was a kid, the pet store had prairie dogs for sale, and they would always be reaching out of the tank for you to hold them, and I would always grab them and squeeze them. My mom was like, absolutely not. And then since like I was a kid, I've never seen a prairie dog for sale ever. And I've raised lions, I've raised monkeys, lemurs, like everything. And you know, at the end of the day, I've learned that like I'm passionate about domestic cats.
Yeah.
Like being in my space. Like I love learning about wild animals, but I really like kind of like more on the domestic edge when it comes to my own pets. But this is one kind of domestic, I mean, it's a wild animal, but it's like people have had them for hundreds of years, so they've been like in people's fields. I don't know, it's always a dream pet. So when I saw this he was a baby in a litter, I emailed the breeder immediately. I was like, give me all of them. So I ended up actually getting 3, like immediately. And within a week, I realized I could only handle 1. And within my network of friends, I had friends begging for the other 2. So we had prairie dog meetups. And yeah, he's insane. It's a horrible pet choice. I can tell you actually, because it's fine. No, everyone knows. So he loves to chew. First of all, he loves cuddling. They greet you by smiling, so he shows you his giant, scary teeth, but that's actually him being like touch me, hold me, hug me. And he does yoga with me in the mornings. So he stretches and he cuddles and hugs. It's super fun. But yeah, so he runs around the house. He plays with my big cats. I have this Hispanic cats, so they're huge. They go on the wheel together. He rolls around with them, so that's all great. The thing is, he chews baseboards. He chews drywall. So to keep him busy, I made a big cardboard spaceship with him in like my animal corner. So there's like cat trees and toys, and he would go there for hours and play in his spaceship. And I kept adding boxes and treats. And a few months into it, I'm like, I should clean up the spaceship and start again. I pull the spaceship out, and there's a hole in the wall, like this, like a tunnel to like Narnia.
Oh, I think you said to Narnia.
Narnia. So I was like, okay, so we have a hole to fix, and then I put a cement block on it, and I'll get it fixed. And I was looking at my laundry and I was like, these are not my underwear.
Yeah,
these are not my socks. What is happening? And then I made a joke. I'm like, he's going into other people's units and stealing their clothing, like as a joke. As a joke, I'm like, what? That'd be funny.
Yeah. And
then I'm in New York, and I get a phone call from my building security, and they're like, your hamster has been secured in another one of your neighbor's unit.
Oh.
And he was in a raccoon trap.
Oh.
And the hamster had just like pillaged their condo because they had like styrofoam out, which he loves. So he just put styrofoam everywhere, and he loves hugs and being held. So the women were running around the house screaming as he was chasing them for hugs. So they got a hotel to stay in for 2 days as I couldn't get back. And when I got there, he was in the raccoon trap eating like a cookie. And I think they actually loved him at that point because he was just sitting on his butt, like so proud. And there was a hole to Narnia in their condo. And so he ate through like multiple walls, and he's just having the time of his life. And so that's why I say prairie dogs are not a good pet choice, because like I've spent tens of thousands, I think, on him, just trying to keep him like things for him to build and climb, and he just wants drywall. So for Christmas, I'm going to get him a slab of drywall. And there you go.
Now, question. Is he like other rodents? The reason he chews is because his teeth never stop growing?
They never stop growing, but he has... Okay, yes, but he has an obsession with getting through things.
Prairie dogs, they burrow in the ground and have...
No, but he'll go through, and then he won't know what to do anymore. Then he'll be like... So we'll go walking in a field together, and I let him run, without a leash, and he'll run through the field with me and stuff. But as soon as there's a barrier he sees, even if he can go around it, he has to go through it.
Wow.
And there's nothing stopping him. So that is the wild part of life with a prairie dog. Yeah, it's tough. But he's my best friend, and I just got a new paw hut catio, which is like human size, which he'll chew out of in 1 second, of course. But yeah, he's getting custom made everything by the renovation team is making him his own condo to go within the house, and he has all kinds. It's fun.
Wow.
But don't get a prairie dog. Don't do it.
No, never. What an amazing opportunity it must be to be a pet for you. I'm just saying, because my God, like literally. Wow.
Yes, but he's great on show. He loves new people too. So we have great days together, especially in the summer when we're doing camp outside for kids. I just throw him on the grass and he runs around digging holes, and he'll go up to the kids and they run around the field with him. So he has tons of fun, but I want to make sure he always feels like he's not in a cage here.
Yeah.
And that's hard to do when he eats 2 walls. So we're just always like exploring new means of enclosures or habitats.
He keeps you busy. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
He keeps you busy. That is something. Now, question, how's your hornbill? The one you showed?
Maggie, she's wonderful. She's lovely. I love her so much. I'm so blessed to have her in my life. She's still kind of our mascot when it comes to animals. She does so well with all types and groups of people and with handling, and she just wants attention and love, and that's what she gives, and she's just so easy to work with. And I send her out with all my new handlers. They know she's going to treat them well.
Now, question, do you still have that warehouse with the full Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton in there?
Yes. So we're in a different unit, like even bigger space than that. It's 30,000 square feet versus like 10. And now the Tyrannosaurus is able to go over multiple stories and look out onto the street. So it's more like in your face, more like night at the museum feel. Yeah.
I always thought that was something unique. How many people can say that they own an entire Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton? That is iconic.
Yes, and then I have my robotic dinosaurs too, which are 17 feet long and quite a few feet taller than me that I go inside of. And for instance, it was really exciting at Pride Toronto. They hired us and we did a dinosaur dance party at Kids Pride, and the Prime Minister of Canada came and visited me and the dinosaurs. And I had a professional Vogue dancer, and the kids had to Vogue in order to bring the dinosaurs back from extinction.
Wow.
And then I came out in the dinosaur suit and did a dip in the dino suit. It was just so fun and silly and so much joy and just so ridiculous. And it was really fun. Like, kids know their dinosaurs, so it was also a learning moment. And I just felt good. It felt good. It felt fun. It felt really fun being involved with different prides in different creative ways that are silly and fun for kids and adults.
You know what? That is amazing. Some people are just born special to give love to the world. You do, and animals are the conduit to what you do, but you share and spread a lot of love, and I love that. This is why I couldn't wait to sit down and just talk to you. I didn't do the where and when, because we did that the first time. So, I just love that we're having this conversation because, people don't understand how special animals are. And the fact that so many powers that be are destroying natural ecosystems and habitat, it is appalling and very sad because these animals, every last one of them serves a purpose on this planet. You know, each and every one of them has a job to do in their own ecosystem. And if we remove things from that ecosystem, then they can't do their job. So then this planet is like that. You know, the universe is like that. If you don't serve a purpose, we get rid of you. The universe gets rid of you. You don't serve a purpose. So I love animals because even as pets, I love to, you know, with pets, I love to study them because they had a purpose even outside of being my pet, you know? And I like to, like with my animals, I like for them to remember. Like, I don't like, you know, people like domestics. I do too. I love domestics. I'm not into exotics. I'm not. It's a lot of maintenance, a lot of money. And
Yeah.
yeah, I'd rather buy wigs and dresses. That's my thing. You know, it's just my thing. But, you know, the fact that animals, like the love and care that you put in is the love and care that you get out. You know, I just, the reason why I keep saying that is I just don't know a truer form of love. I just don't know. Like, animals are so important. I couldn't imagine a world without animals. I couldn't. And you know, we talk about the effects of global warming and things like that. And, you know, I see those effects even here because I'm in Philadelphia. And, you know, global warming is really like, you start to see it now. You know, they talked about it for years and years. But like, even before the summer, before spring, even before that, we were still in like February and the robins returned.
Mm-hmm.
And
with fear.
Yes, me being an animal person, I freaked out and started crying. And my grandmother was like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "The world is fucked." I literally said, she was like, "Why?" I said, "He shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
He should not be here. He
Yeah.
should be south. This is not good. Him returning in February is not good." And she was like, she understood. And she was like, "Wow, I didn't even realize it." I'm like, "Yeah, he shouldn't be here." You know, so I'm just about preserving the planet. And I'm not doing it as a veterinarian, but I'll do it as a philanthropist. I will make sure that animals, and also with the pets that I have, I will make sure that, you know, some of my charities, like I tell you, most of my charities that I give to will be the ASPCA, will be, you know, different organizations around the world that deal with animals, because that's where my heart is. You know, some people think it's crazy for, you know, someone to die and leave everything to their animal. And people think, "Oh, that's crazy." And it's like, no, you're taking it out of context. They're not actually leaving it to their animal. They're leaving it to the care of their animal. They're saying, "You don't get this unless you care for my babies." You know, and so many people, "Oh, she left her whole fortune to a dog." No, she didn't. She left her fortune to people that make sure the dog would be cared for. You know, animals mean so much. I know for me, they help me. Like I said, I qualify for emotional support animals because being bipolar, you know, that's manic depression. You know, now I'm type 1, so I get a lot of energy. I don't have down days, but it's nice to just have life in my home other than me and my, you know, my family. And I love that I'll have that everywhere. Now I'm afraid of dogs. I am. And because I just never had them.
Mm-hmm.
And I always was told, and maybe you can shed light on this, I was always told that you had to assert your dominance over a dog. They had to see you as the alpha. I don't subscribe to that.
No, I feel like as soon as you go into positive reinforcement training mindset, you don't bring up the dominance thing. But I do see, it was Caesar Milan.
I remember.
And like, isn't he like biting the dogs in the neck or something? And like, I'm like, alpha male. I'm like, what is happening? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't subscribe to that either. I feel like it's just weird, and it's like fear based or something. I think when you go in a cage of wolves, and you're an animal trainer, there might be a hierarchy in which you might greet the wolves in, or they might eat you.
Yeah.
I know that maybe as a fact. But I don't think, we need to be asserting our dominance. So all that stuff seems weird to me. I think just, doing it through love and through positive reinforcement and like trust. And also like creatively inspiring and working with the animal's own behaviors that it enjoys doing.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not one of those people where I have to, like you said, assert my dominance. I don't do that with humans. Like, I don't do that. And I'm going to tell you why, because I naturally am dominant. And my thing is, if you're dominant, you don't have to tell people you're dominant. If you're really dominant and a leader, all you have to do is lead. They will fall into line. So with my animals, I don't have to tell them I'm the boss. I'm feeding you. I'm loving you. I come and find you. I pick you up. I talk to you. You know who I am. That's enough for me. You know, it was so crazy because I saw, like, my grandmother was like, okay, you're going to go crazy. Because I was looking at some program and they had these like Highland cows. They're really, they're really fluffy. And I was like, oh my God, I want one. And it was like, they were like $10,000. And I'm like, listen, and you can't buy one. I told my grandmother, I was like, you can't buy one. They're a herding animal. I was like, you can't buy one. Yeah, you got to buy a couple. She's like, you're going to turn our home. And I'm like, well, listen, I plan to buy land in France, a lot. So, you know, I've been looking for years before I even made money. I've been looking and setting up my life. And I knew that, okay, I'm going to have a lot of land. So over here, we'll make the grazing area.
Yeah. My friend got 2 Highlands last year. And this year they got a 3rd. And on my Instagram, those are the ones that I'm running. I'm trying to Highland dance with them. And they're just like bucking and thinking I'm crazy. But like they're bringing so much joy to like everyone around them, and they don't serve they don't serve a purpose for them other than joy.
Yeah,
lovely.
Yeah, I love that. Like, you know, I thank you for just sitting down and talking to me, because we had a true conversation. Just catching up, and our hour flew.
It did.
It flew.
We didn't even talk about Chimp Crazy.
No, we didn't, and now we have to. So please do.
Did you watch it?
No.
Okay. No. Okay. Come back to you once you watch it and let me know.
So it's called Chimp Crazy?
Yeah. So do you remember last time we talked about Tiger King a little bit?
Yeah.
And that I have a little bit of a experience socially with Joe Exotic as a young person.
Yeah, I remember.
So it's the same production team makes Chimp Crazy. Okay. And it's about people who keep chimps and perhaps they keep them because they're looking for the love that they might get from a child.
Wow. Dangerous.
But sorry?
So that's dangerous.
Yeah. It's great. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's crazy. It's quite the roller coaster to watch.
You know?
I think you'll be okay watching it. But I think it'll be hard to watch. I think it'll be really fun to watch. I think the word crazy really is what it feels like watching it.
Where do I find it?
It's HBO for us in Canada. Mm-hmm. Yeah, HBO Max is what we call it in Canada.
Oh yeah, it's the same thing.
Okay.
We're trying to figure out time zone, and we're like, oh, it's the same. Like, no, it's the same. It's the same here. No, because, you know, from my studies of chimps and watching documentaries and things like that, they're as strong as 10 men. They can really do damage. And I watched a lot of shows where they were out of control, ripping the flesh off of people. Like they are, they're not exactly, they're not exactly a pet at all. Yeah.
Well, there's a whole, I guess, subset of people that have kept them, especially like I think traditional circus people. Yeah, I think the show reflects on the history of keeping them as a pet or a circus animal. However, I do feel like it did miss the whole conversation on how we use them in testing. And if you can put 100 chimps in a cage and cut their brains open and test on them for 60 years, why can't Tanya over there dress hers up in a dress and let it bite her ear off? While it's eating
I'm so mad.
Popeyes. Like, are we mad at Tanya right now, or the 100 that are getting abused? It made me really think about the whole thing, but it's quite interesting and exciting to watch, and I think it has a good conclusion. So.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Yeah, you have to.
Tell me what's upcoming for you, up and coming? Like you said, you were on set. Is the movie out, or can we see it soon? When can you talk about it?
No, and it's just small, but I will be posting it crazily. Hopefully we get to go to some small festivals with it.
Yeah. Bigger than you think.
I think I'll be on some like well watched TV shows coming up that we've filmed, so I'm very excited. And then I know it's silly, but being the ambassador for this roller rink, I'm a 5-time roller champion here in Canada, and the only Black roller champion that we've had. So my dream is to really be a big part of the roller skating community here in Canada. So being the ambassador of a rink, and getting to help curate these roller skating events, and my first one coming up November 13th is so exciting. And having someone like Willem flying in from LA, who's I think going to be doing drag on roller skates. Yeah. This is going to be so exciting.
You know, I saw it was before this summer, actually. It might have been last year. I saw you do a double axel in roller skates.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I knew exactly what
my body almost broke.
Oh, no, you landed it. You landed
so
it.
Long.
No, you landed it. You landed it. You landed it and was fine. I didn't know anything was wrong.
I've never skated outside before. Okay. But in Cape Town, I found out that figure roller skating is a big thing. And I was like, let's get back into it. And it reignited my love for figure roller skating. And then the roller rink saw my videos there and contacted me here. And it's like, we'd love to have you part of our rink, which built that new relationship there. So it's time to skate. We're going to be, I have the animals at the roller rink this weekend. Like it's roller skating, it's animals, it's the dream.
Wow. You know, you are the true testament of having something you love, putting it out into the world, in the universe, and having it reward you. You never needed to change.
Yeah. You learn that as as the years go on.
Yeah. You never had to change. Everything you loved when you started, you still love, and you get to do it. And like you said, you have staff now in the zoo and the mobile zoo, and you do all these things, and they require a lot of your time, energy, and finance. But I would venture to say that it's not like working. You just do it because you love to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can tell. You can tell you love to do it. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And I just want to say you are a beautiful human being inside and out.
So are you. So are you. And the people that talk about you say the same thing. I was telling you, my friend.
Yeah, tell me about that. Tell me about that. Don't say a thing.
Being like, I love them. I was like, oh.
Yeah, don't say his name. You did. You text me and you were like, I'm staying in New York and this guy I'm staying with.
Yeah, I was telling him I was with you and they're like, oh, I love them and everything, all these things. Like, oh. Yeah. All the past projects.
And I remember him. I remember his face. I remember exactly who he was. He kind of like took a long break from social media. So I didn't know what happened. So when I saw him, I went and I found him and I saw that he had gotten into alchemy and things like that. So I was like, okay, this is where he is. This is what he's doing, pursuit of a higher purpose. And I was like, oh, all right. But yeah, he will always be gorgeous. I even said to you to make sure you tell him that I want to talk to him.
Yeah.
I was like, please tell him, please come to my podcast. I want to talk to him. Yeah. So like, that's amazing. And I love that your work is taking you all over. America, Cape Town. You're traveling the world. And literally, you're traveling the world doing what you love. That was what I sought to do. And that is what I got. It's like I would have never, ever dreamed that I'd be doing this and that I'd have the ability to do this. And it's amazing. I was speaking to my grandmother today about it. It has been a lot of sacrifice, but I am on the other side of 40 and the other side of the sacrifice. Now I'm starting to reap the full reward of hard work done and dues paid. And it is something like the reputation, and not just the reputation, the reverence that people give me. I can write my own ticket. I really can, Seth. And I'm one of those people where I do this behind the glass. This is always my way of protecting myself. When my career started to go awry and when I didn't have enough money to do this or enough money to do that, the internet, when I came to the internet, it was a way for me to touch the masses and to grow. And it did just that. So to the point that being on the internet forced me to have to get an LLC. I had to forge a real company behind all of this. I had to trademark the Queen of Shade. Like what started as a hobby passion became my day job. And I'm like you, it's my day and my night. I'm doing this sometimes till 3 a.m, just being that light to other people and inspiring them. And I never get tired of it. I never grow tired of it.
Amazing.
I never do. And how do you feel about that? Knowing that, you give back every day. And what I'm asking is this. How do you, because I know how I do it, I'll expound on that later, but how do you manage to keep your cup full?
How do I manage to keep my cup full? I mean, for me, how do I manage to get my cup full? I think I always am trying to do new things.
Mm-hmm.
Just try and push myself to do things constantly and just always stay outside of my comfort zone. I have another little animal friend that's coming to visit you.
Yes.
Is it okay?
Yes. Yes. Look at those tetraps. Look at that beautiful aquarium. That was much younger. And we're back. The Savannah cat. I love the narrowing of the face. He's more narrow than most domestic animals. You can tell he's definitely not. Wow. Hi. Hi. Look, he's looking like, where's that coming from? Hi. He's looking around like, where is that noise? Hello. Hello. Hi. Yeah.
His name is Fang.
His name is Fang?
Yeah, he's so big.
Yeah, look, I saw you in a picture stretching him out.
I know. I love at cat shows when they're like, our next cat up is whatever. They're like stretching them and all the cats.
Yeah, I love cat shows too.
Camera.
Yeah, I love cat shows too. He's so well mannered. Was he born in captivity?
Yes, yeah. So Savannah cats are a domestic cat.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Mwah. We love you.
He almost has the pattern of like the bangles and the
so they do breed them with a wild cat. Mm-hmm. Then you get a hybrid and you breed the hybrids together to give you the Savannah. So you do get that wild. They have the wild DNA and the wild pattern to them. But honestly, they're like puppy dogs, I think.
Well, how old is he?
He's 2.
Oh, he's young. He's young.
Purring so loud.
Beautiful and well kept. He loves you.
He's so happy.
Yeah. No, people don't even understand. They think dogs are protectors. Let somebody. I feel bad for somebody to come to your house and bother you because those cats will go crazy. They will. He's beautiful. And I love how curious he is. Everything. He's looking at everything. I love that. So alert.
This is King Tut.
Yeah. Look at him. this is a different one.
Yeah, this is King Tut.
I could tell the marking. Yeah, I saw the nose. I'm like, this is a different one. So King Tut and Fang.
Yeah. Woo. I think that's how I keep my cup full, is the answer.
Yeah. Because, you know, with me being, I subscribe to Egyptian shamanism. So I'm always like cats and them being mystical creatures and carrying, you know, being a conduit to the spirit world. And I'm very much into that. So I love cats. I will always have them around me. I remember when I had my Persians, I used to go to like really nice, like fancy restaurants, and I'd take my Persians and I would sit him on my lap because I would like,
I love that.
You sat at the bar and you waited for your table. He'd be sitting on my lap and people would walk by like, what is that?
That sounds like so me. That sounds so me. I love that.
Yeah, they're like, what is that? Because my thing is, I found a breeder that didn't just breed for the traditional white Persian. She had orange, she had tabby, she had like all these different bicolors, she had all these different kinds. So I got one, and oh my God, I had a black, he was like a smoky black one. His name was Jasper. And then I had the tabby, her name was Milaik. And then I had O'Malley. He was orange. That one devastated me. He got sick. He was 8 years old. He got sick and I had to put him down. That devastated me. It took me years to get a cat again. Like literally, he died 2009 and I've had cats for about 3 years. It took me so long to get back into it, but literally I felt that I needed them in my life. And I was right. I needed them.
Mm-hmm.
I needed their energy because they're so like, even when I'm doing like my magical stuff, they come around and they're there and their presence, they're always so calm, so cool, collected, you know, even Smokey with him. He's not like, he doesn't like touch and doesn't trust as much, but he comes around. Like he doesn't hide all day. He comes around and he'll let me see him, provided that I don't make any sudden movements. No sudden movements. They're like, what is that? You know, then he's like, ugh. But I find that even in him, he's trying. You know, a lot of human beings, me too, I was included. I needed someone to give me a chance in my life. And he's trying. Like he'll run and then he'll come back. Yeah. Same chances I was afforded, I'm affording him. Oh. So now it's time to say goodbye. But I want you this season. Last season I did 3 words that inspire and encourage you. This season, I want to know from you one of your wildest dreams that you wish for, pray for. I want you to say it out loud so that it is documented and that you charge the atmosphere with it so that it comes back to you. This is a spiritual thing. So one of your wildest dreams that you wish to come true.
I wish to be working at the South African Elephant Reserve where they rescue and rehab African elephants as a handler there with the elephants.
That's beautiful.
Living in the savannah, yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Oh my God. That's beautiful. That is something to look forward to. And that'll happen. Yeah,
I think I have a strong feeling it will.
Yeah, because literally, you know, animals, they can tell what kind of person you are. You're a very loving person. Elephants especially, they can read a person. You know, they can read you real well. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that'll definitely happen for you. Now tell everyone where they can find you on social media or, you know, your organization as far as what you do. How can they keep up with you and follow you?
Yeah, my Instagram is Seth E Falk, SETHEFALK. That's where I spend most of my time. My animal program is Hands on Exotics on Instagram. And that's also my website is Hands on Exotics. And then that's my TikTok, which is Hands on Exotics, which is videos of my animals and just extra silly animal content. And yeah.
You have a lot of followers too.
Yeah.
Yeah. They love what you do.
Yeah. And I think we have I've been filming a series of really silly animal videos with different people. So eventually those will be edited and put up, and I think they'll be really fun to watch. Really cute animals.
Wow. Don't go away. Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard the vocal stylings and the heart, mind, and soul of Mr. Seth E. There we go. Don't go away. So did you enjoy? Was the conversation everything you thought it would be? It was for me. I love catching up with my friends. It was absolutely amazing. So if you thought it was amazing, please continue to watch, comment, like, and share. And most of all, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I love you, and I do this for you. Good, wholesome content about self-love, self-confidence, and self-healing. The Queen of Shade loves you all. Remember my name, the Queen of Shade. Mwah.
And I wish you could have more of me, but I'm questioning your loyalty. But you know my love is never free. Little boy, come get your daddy, please. And I wish you could have more of me, but I'm questioning your loyalty. But you know my love is never free. Little boy, come get your daddy, please. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. I'm gonna get you, boy. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. I'm gonna get you, boy. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. I'm gonna get you, boy. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. I'm gonna get you, boy. Turn that TV down.